What's up, Raider Nation? Tape Don't Lie audience, Tape Don't Lie fans. Excuse my cat in the background. I was waiting a little bit to see if she can calm down here. But anyways, Raider Nation, thanks for tapping in. I got a little bit of a clickbaity title here, hoping to get a little bit of an audience in here. But I this discussion is framed around some people coming into my mentions, DMing me, comments I've seen on Twitter, on YouTube, talking about Maxx Crosby playing like defensive player of the year, like a defensive player of the year candidate. So I'm gonna get into it. I'll go through what Maxx Crosby's doing really at a dominant level. You know what I'm saying, and that'll be the majority of the breakdown. But I'll also look at some things that maybe Maxx Crosby can improve upon, and get even more pressure, perhaps. So yeah, so we'll get into that. Thanks for tuning in. Gotta get at Michael Lopez here. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Appreciate it, man. All right, yeah. So that's it. Let me get into it. Let's go over Maxx Crosby's run defense first of all, and this is really where Maxx Crosby is playing at an elite level, defeating blocks. The hallmark of a great edge player right here, Maxx Crosby on the edge, is setting the edge against the run. We see him get there, engage with that tackle, get off that block, get in on a tackle for a run stop, set that edge, make it a tough edge to run against. And sometimes you have to take on pulling guards. Okay, just like this rep right here, we see Maxx Crosby in man on the line of scrimmage. He gets a block down from the tackle and a pull from the guard, so we know we're getting power, and he just devastates this run blocking scheme, gets underneath that guard and just squats, full squats, gets him up off the ground. Fantastic play against the run. Here's another one. Taking on this double team here, two offensive linemen spinning out of it, getting back on the edge. Okay, getting in on a tackle. All right, here it is against Tennessee. It's not just one game. Here it is against Tennessee. Okay, do not ever try to block this guy with a tight end. That's disrespectful. Here's another one. Tennessee made the mistake putting Maxx Crosby one-on-one with the tight end. Get out of my face is what he says. Jumps on the back of Derrick Henry for a little suplex there. Okay, here he is. Just, I have no idea what this move is. And man on the line of scrimmage, ducks inside of the A-gap, spins out of it. We broke it down on TDL in the review show. I can assure you this play right here, this little technique that he's doing is not taught anywhere. That is something Maxx Crosby just does. But it's not just setting the edge. He's given the green light in this scheme to shoot gaps, get into the backfield, cause mayhem. Here's an example. Little blitz. He gets into the B gap, blows this play up, ends with a loss after he gets into the backfield and contacts the back. Here's another example. They're gonna run it. Okay, they got to block down with the tight end. Yeah, right. He's just gonna shoot right into the backfield. Okay, fantastic. Look at first of all, look at the get off. Okay, look at the get off. Full extension, hip extension. He's so deep into the backfield already. Okay, reads it, understands it. This is understanding blocking schemes, understanding tendencies, understanding formations, knowing, okay, back is on the same side as the tight end. What are the runs that we're going to get? Okay, and when he sees it, he has the athletic ability to do something with that knowledge. So we're seeing him start to put those kind of things together, and that really, truly is what makes someone Defensive Player of the Year candidate worthy that we're going to talk about here. Okay, here's another example, shooting the gaps, getting a tendency check. Okay, this tackle is supposed to block out on him. Crosby just gets right into that B gap. Okay, shoots that gap. Beautiful play against the best back in the NFL, probably. So what teams have started doing against Crosby, because he has been so dominant against the run, is they have been trying to read him in the zone read game. Okay, leave him unblocked, make him wrong, Okay, trust me when I tell you that this is not a good option to do against Maxx Crosby. He's going to get it right every time because he has that athletic ability. He has that lateral agility, okay, to really read this, come and make a play. So you better block this guy, okay? And speaking of better blocking him on the backside, in pursuit, run away, he still makes these kind of plays. Okay, here, pardon me, sorry for that. He still makes these kind of plays in pursuit on the backside, away from plays where he's going to have that kind of like rookie level enthusiasm for the game to chase it down, okay, and make those kind of plays. Now, let's talk about the pass rush. That's where you make your money. That's how you become defensive player of the year. Is not, 1972. You got to rush the passer. Okay, so inside rush really is where Maxx Crosby has made the most pressure. We see this one right here. He reads the scheme again, reading the technique. Reading the tendencies, reading the formations. Okay, he realizes, okay, we're getting a little play action. Let me shoot inside here. Blows this play up. And really, he's been killer against play actions, really helping the entire defense up, crashing. Okay, again, crashing down, shooting that gap. It turns out to be a run, and guess what? He's rushing the passer because he's shooting that gap. Okay, they've really been unleashing Maxx Crosby. Here he is rushing from 3 technique. Okay, we're going to get a little long arm. Okay, great. Look at the angle. Look at the angle that he's at. Look at the ankle flexibility. He's got this guy all the way driving him back, forces Murray to get off his spot, try to make a little play, flushes him out of the pocket for a little sack. I don't know if that was a face mask. I can't remember. And then here we go. Here's another one. We saw, this is the precursor. Okay, we saw this just this last weekend against Kansas City, or 2 weekends ago against Kansas City. We're going to get the back comes out on his side to chip. So what does he do? He spins inside. Okay, gets some pressure on the quarterback, forces his process a little bit. Okay. Here's another one. We're going to front him. Okay. Meaning chop our feet, make him stop our feet, and then what are we going to do? Go for that bull rush, strong inside, finish at the quarterback. Yeah. Okay. Great little celebration at the end. Here's another one. Okay. Again, give him a little stutter step. And now we're going to stunt inside, pounce on that quarterback. Okay. This is a game that Cleveland Ferrell and Maxx Crosby are running. Okay, this is probably one of the better play calls so far from this year, just the results from a play call this year. Just an aside real quick, I want to break it down for the listeners, people who are new to Tape Don't Lie. This is the kind of analysis that you're going to get on the channel. So what's happening here is before the snap, we got Diablo and Jayon Brown. Okay, watch them. They're gesturing to each other. Diablo's pointing over here. Jayon Brown comes up, lines up over here. So what does Russell Wilson do? He says, okay, hold on, watch those guys. He's pointing at the linebackers. So they change the protection. And what happens when they change the protection? Now, because these guys are slanting the protection towards these linebackers who they think are blitzing, Maxx Crosby is going to be one-on-one on the backside. So they're running a game. Clee and Max end up running a Texas stunt. Okay, so the end goes first. Tackle goes first and goes second, comes around, loops around here, bam. But it's all possible because they get the protection to slant over here. Notice how there's 4 blockers for 2 rushers, and over here there's 2 blockers for 2 rushers. So this is just an example of a play call working, okay, to free up Maxx Crosby. Okay, here we go. This is from the last game. Maxx Crosby played up until this point. Again, we see the back come out to chip him on his side. He reads it immediately. Just inside spin, loads up on that inside foot. Man, just one of the quickest spins I've seen especially from a big man. Usually, you see 6'2", 235-pound rushers do that kind of thing. Here's another one. We're going to go ahead, stutter this guy, front him up. What are we going to do? We're going to bull rush. You're going to, underneath your pads, finish inside. And he strings together another move, arm over, inside rush move to get to the quarterback. Flashing dominance as an inside rusher. But what about as a contained rusher? Okay, so let's check it out. We saw him make this play as a contained rusher. Again, this is play action. This is him reading the formation, getting a tendency check, okay, and then just picking his shot and gambling, and he hit the lotto. Okay, so that is a contained rush. Let's look at another one. Same kind of thing against Tennessee. Probably not as well known of a play, but still similar result. Reads it. Okay, we know he knows we got a blitz off the edge. We know we can be hard inside here, heavy inside here. Okay, so he's just going for it. He's not playing the run at all. Not worrying about that run fake. Ends up getting that, making that play right there. Okay, here's a funny one. We got two tight ends over here. And I think this tackle is obviously expecting one of these tight ends to help him out because he sets so heavy inside. And it allows Maxx Crosby to use this move right here. Watch this move that he uses. Okay. The two-hand swipe. Okay. Beautifully timed. Beats this guy to the punch. This guy, I think, is, again, helping or expecting help from the outside here from one of his tight ends. So he's setting very hard inside. Notice no vertical set here. And because he actually gets no help, it allows Maxx Crosby to execute this move and turn a really tight corner around the edge. Okay. That's what we'd like to see from Maxx Crosby. That's a very quality looking rush. Good looking rush. Okay. Even if it might be a little bit of a miscue. Going back to week 1. Okay. This time you can't say that this is a miscue. Okay, what does he do? Again, we're going to use that two-hand swipe, and he uses it twice. He goes for it once, and he uses it again here, and he gets some pressure on the quarterback. But also, I want you to check out his feet work at the beginning of the rep. He gives a little jab step inside, and what happens is this tackle loads up on his inside foot when he gets that jab step. It freezes this tackle's feet just a little bit, and now the corner that Crosby has to turn to get to the quarterback is a little tighter because he made that tackle freeze his feet. And the tackle can't just push him all the way around the pocket. So this is an example of Crosby putting it all together as a contained rusher, meaning all the way around, no inside moves, can't let the quarterback get out that pocket, rush around that corner. Okay? The problem is that seems to be Maxx Crosby's only move. Here he is going for the two-hand swipe again. Okay. Gets bodied. Two-hand swipe. Two-hand swipe. Two-hand swipe. Two-hand swipe. Two-hand swipe. It's really kind of all he's got at this point as far as an outside move. It seems to be his go-to move. He's really relying on it a lot. Okay. And I just included this rep right here to show what is happening, I think, with his outside rushes, with his contained rushes. Okay. Watch this guy come out and jump him. Okay. And when tackles land their hands on Crosby, when he's going for a contained rush, when he's trying to run around that edge, I think because he's such a big guy, he has all these long arms, he has such so much surface area. And Crosby tends to lose when he gets beat to the punch. So Crosby really has to work on getting those counters, get that hand fighting right, not let these guys land so cleanly on him, and get a counter move, get something else that he can add to his repertoire as far as his contained rushes before I can really crown him and say, hey, he's like TJ Watt, Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Von Miller level. Before we put him all the way up there, I do think that there is still room for improvement for Maxx Crosby. Certainly best player on the Raiders, making the biggest impact, making impact in every single game. I love Maxx Crosby. As a Raider fan, definitely proud to say that Maxx Crosby is on the team that, when I put my Raiders cap on, when I put my Raiders gear on, very happy that Maxx Crosby represents that before people start jumping down my throat here. But at the same time, definitely still think that there's things that he can improve on. Would like to see him take that next step, add things to his repertoire. And the other thing that I'll also bring up before I get out of here, I got 15 minutes on the clock right here. The other thing I'll bring up with Maxx Crosby is, there's going to be, because he has really that one outside rush move, there's going to be those lulls in the game where he's not really making an impact. They're running away from him. He tries some of these, contained rushes, and he's not really getting home. So you're going to have like an entire series, or maybe like 2 series in a row in like the third quarter or the late second quarter, where Maxx Crosby is really not making an impact. And I think, until he cleans that up and he gets, more adept at rushing around that corner as an outside contained rusher, until we see that him take that next step, we're going to continue to see some lulls, some absences of him making plays in games, just because, tackles can really sit on his inside moves until he beats them around the corner. All right, so that's it for me, Raider Nation. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you're not mad at me about what I have to say about Crosby. Best Raiders player by far on the team. That's it from us. Follow me on Twitter at BDWilliams18. Also follow my partner Marcus Johnson at the Mark John NFL. This is Taped on Live. That's it. Holla at you.